past Deputy Vice-Chancellor International at the University of Melbourne, Professor Michael Wesley, joins me. We saw those much anticipated face-to-face talks, albeit over video link, Professor Wesley, between President Xi and President Biden. Is there a scenario where they could reach an accommodation and leave us essentially out in the cold?
Look, I think where the Xi-Biden talks have taken us is towards a mutual understanding, if you like, between the two countries, that they will try and keep their competition in bounds. You know, they will try and stop it spilling over into open conflict. What's really interesting about the talks was there was virtually no talk of repairing the relationship. There seemed to be frank understanding among the two countries, among the two leaders, that China and the United States are now locked into a situation of competition and rivalry, but that neither country really has an interest in that rivalry escalating into open conflict. So I think that's one area where we've seen real development. The other area that's been really significant is the willingness of the two countries to come together at Glasgow and to find a common platform in relation to climate change as well. So this is going to be a complex relationship between China and the United States. It is a rivalrous relationship, but I think what we've seen in the last 2 weeks is that despite that rivalrous relationship, there is still a capacity between China and the United States to come together around areas of agreement and areas of common interest.
That's something that we have not succeeded with China. And, you know, there've been all sorts of reassurances from Kurt Campbell, a senior official in the Biden administration, and others saying they won't leave us alone on the field. I guess the question is, though, when it comes to trade and this ongoing rift between us and China, will there be a position where the Morrison government or the Australian government, whoever's in power over the next 12 months, is able to provide some nuance here, to get some support from the US to restart dialogue with the Chinese?
I'm not sure support from the US is what it would take to restart dialogue with the Chinese. I think that the Sino-Australian relationship is in such a place where it's almost impossible to conceive of China and Australia coming together in any kind of collaborative fashion. If I was the Australian government, I would be looking for areas of mutual interest and coinciding interests with China to see if we can start even the slightest amount of discussion, even among officials or even among non-officials, if you like. But I really can't see where that would be at the moment. And I'm not sure that the US statements of support for Australia's position necessarily help us in that either. I think this is an area where we need to engage the creativity of our diplomats and our foreign policy makers to really think through where are those areas where we do have coinciding interests with China where we can start that dialogue.
Yeah, I just wonder where that fits in with a government keen to use national security as part of their re-election armoury. I'm not sure that'll be high on the agenda, Professor Wesley.
No, look, that is a worrying element. It seems that there are parts of the government that are seeking to outdo each other in terms of, you know, appearing to be uncompromising and appearing really to muscle up. I really don't know what national interest is being advanced by the sorts of language we're hearing from different parts of the government. It's certainly not advancing our interests in relation to China. And my own opinion is that it's increasingly isolating us from the rest of the region as well.